Hey Ringside crew, welcome to the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. And now here's your host, Joe Panther III.
Wait a second. This is not Dudes at Ringside. Oh my gosh. It's okay, fans. Happy Super Bowl. Welcome to Super Bowl Sunday. I am Joe Panther III, and I want to welcome you to the Super Bowl prediction show. I want to introduce my guests for this fun experience. Let's give a warm Joe Panther variety show welcome to the Blonde Blitz. Welcome.
How are you, Joe? Thank you so much for having me on. I'm excited to talk some football, talk some Super Bowl, and talk some Eagles.
That's the Eagles and Chiefs. Wow, rematch from a few years ago. You're gonna laugh. My stream like that's like a bingo thing that everybody puts money in. I'm like, maybe I'll win again. Maybe it'll be year 2, Joe winning the big pot. Because that year, I won the second big pot. I was like,
oh wow.
That's
not easy. How much money did you win? That's really not easy to do.
It was like 200 and something.
Oh, okay. There's people that win thousands of dollars. Like I think I won $1,000 one time.
Walking around like right.
Everyone's like, drinks on Joe. No.
Yeah, I would have been nice. I was like, girl, let's go. Bring the girls. Let's go get some drinkies.
I don't know if $200 is going to cover it for that, but yeah.
Most girls be like, I'll take a martini in that giant giveaway cup.
That's going to be like 3 martinis and then you're done.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to be in NOLA and excited for a good Super Bowl. And that's exactly what everyone's going to get, is like a really tough Super Bowl. Kansas City is appearing in their 5th Super Bowl in 6 years. Wow. The Eagles, are competing in their 2nd Super Bowl in the last 3 seasons. They're going for the trophy number 2. And the Eagles want revenge. KC wants a 3-peat.
Yeah.
They're both going to go at it,
Both of those games, like the AFC Championship and the NFC Championship, they both were insane. Like, out of both those games, which one were you more like on the edge of your seat for?
I mean, I think I was more on the edge of my seat between Kansas City and the Bills, just because the Bills it was so close. I think it came down to Dalton Kincaid, not catching that pass, and the Bills really did have a shot. And I wanted a Bills-Eagles Super Bowl, and obviously didn't get it. It's Kansas City. I think everybody wanted a Bills-Eagles Super Bowl, to be honest.
Didn't want to see Chiefs there. My mom was like, I could hear my mom watching because I have a delay in my house where the TV is. I could hear my mom. I go, and my mom would go, I hear, boo, 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 boo. I'm like, oh, my mom's excited about the call.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I mean, for the Eagles game, obviously the Eagles blew out the Commanders. So that was just, Saquon Barkley just took it to the house so many times. Jalen Hurts had an amazing performance. The team just balled out. And I loved Saquon Barkley's eyes. They showed him during the national anthem. And I looked at one of my friends and I go, he is locked in. Like, you could just see it in his eyes. He was like, this is going down right now. And wow, they got 55 points?
Yeah.
Highest ever in an NFC championship. So in NFL history. So hopefully they repeat it in Super Bowl. I doubt that though. It's going to be very difficult to get by Kansas City's defense with 55 points.
Let's go into it. Like, we'll go into like the stats on both teams. Like, let's talk about the defense first and foremost of the defending Super Bowl champions. On their defense, their defensive line is it was good like it was last time, but did you think that they go down on like tackles or the quarterback, or did they take a step forward this year, do you think?
I think as a whole, I mean, I don't know. I think as a whole, Kansas City just didn't play up to their potential the entire season. They barely won some of the games. I think they stepped it up in postseason because they had to. But yeah, I mean, their defense is strong. I mean, these are the best two teams in the NFL, you know? So I think, I think I see Jalen Hurts getting sacked more times than I see Patrick Mahomes getting sacked in this game. Even though our defense, the Eagles defense, is number one in the NFL. Like, we've got such an amazing defense. I don't know why I feel like that. Patrick Mahomes just like has a way. He's like Michael Vick. He just finds a way to like get through, you know, where Jalen.
Fun of that too. She was like, oh my gosh, this boy knows where he's going. He's like, he faked them, and then they're like, and then he would run around.
And he has so much experience. I mean, how many times has he been at the Super Bowl? You know, Jalen's been there once. So, you know, he just, Kansas City's going to be tough to beat.
Yeah. Like, also now, like, with the Eagles, with like their running game, like, do you think Saquon? Do you think the defense of the Chiefs? Was it Chargers? The Chiefs. Do you think they'll be able to take care of him, or do you think he's just gonna run through them like a hot knife through butter? Do you think?
Right, and I think that will be the deciding factor of the game. I think Saquon Barkley getting by their defense is what's really going to win this game for the Eagles. Yeah, I mean, I think they're going to be able to hold him a little bit, but he's just going to be on fire. And then they're going to have to contain Jalen Hurts too. You know, Jalen can run as well. That's kind of, you know, what he does. So yeah, between the two of them, and then Goddard too, like Goddard's playing at a high level right now, you know, coming back from injury. So yeah, I mean, AJ Brown, like Devontae Smith, I could just keep going. So yeah, and our O-line, the Eagles O-line, is the best it's ever been. You know, Mulata, Lane, Dickerson, I mean, Cam Jurgen. The Eagles just have such an explosive team. And you know, and I think as good as our offense is, that the defense is just as good. You know, all the guys from Georgia, Mitchell, DeJean, you know, Vic Fangio, of course, Slay, big play Slay. Who else? Carter. Vic Fangio has turned that defense around this season, and that's where I credit the Eagles winning so many games is really the defense, because defense wins championships. So I think between Saquon Barkley, the way Jalen's playing, and the defense of the Eagles, I think if anyone can beat Kansas City, it's going to be the Eagles.
Yeah, it's insane. Do you think the kickers are going to come into play, like the kickers or the punters?
They always do, right? I mean, special teams always kind of saves it. Like, hopefully it doesn't come down to a field goal in the last couple seconds. It has so many times now. We've all seen it, right? Jake Elliott's, I love Jake. He has such an amazing record. He's struggled a little bit through the season, but when it really counts, he makes it. I was at the Snow Bowl game in Philly when they beat the Rams, and you know, he was an integral part of the Eagles taking that game. So he, you know, it was great to see him. It was hard to kick in the snow, I'm sure. It was like a blizzard. So, you know, I think, I definitely think that kicking and punting will every position is going to matter. It's a Super Bowl.
Yeah. Yeah. But like between the two running backs, the running back from the Eagles and the running back from the Chiefs, who do you think has more of an opportunity to make this a breakout game for them both? The other guy.
I think Barkley. I mean, in 3 postseason games, he's carried 66 times for 442 yards and 5 touchdowns. In 16 regular season games, he's carried 345 times for 2,005 yards, 13 touchdowns. So yeah, including the playoffs, he's also had 40 receptions for 313 yards and 2 touchdowns. So
Mm.
I think Barkley's just gonna, he's waited for this moment, because the Giants weren't getting him anywhere, and it's actually a little bit sad. And I hate to talk bad about the Giants, but because a lot of my friends are Giant fans, but they're just as frustrated. So, but yeah, now you're seeing what Barkley could have had his entire career, and thank goodness they let him go and they let him come home and let him shine, because when the lights are on, Barkley shines. So,
And being a Penn State fan, we all went, we know about this for years.
Yeah.
When he
I
was in
feel like Eagles have a dominant offensive line, dominant defense, the best running back in the NFL. And I feel like Kansas City has the best quarterback and has a great head coach, and that's who they're playing against.
Yep.
And a good T. I think Travis Kelce's good, although his numbers aren't as up as they were last season, but he balled out in the playoffs, so it's still there. I feel like he just kind of waited.
And it's kind of sad that everybody has to point to the Taylor Swift thing every year. Leave the girl alone.
That. Well, and that's why there's rumors like that's why his numbers are down. But I don't know. I love Taylor. I think she's an amazing influence on the younger generation of girls, and I love that she's brought these girls into football, and now they're watching it and they're enjoying it like I did when I was a child. I started watching football when I was so young with my dad. And I think now a lot of girls are asking those questions because of Taylor. Like one time I was interviewing a bunch of girls, it wasn't even girls, they were in college. I think they were went to USC or something. And I was at the Rams Eagles game. And I was like, what's your favorite thing about football? And all of them were like, Taylor Swift.
Oh my God.
And I was like, all right, fair. I'll take that.
Yeah. So, so now we're into the game. We're like let's throw this out there to the fans that are watching this, with the Joe Panther Variety Show fans and the Blonde Blitz fans. I don't know what you call your fans. I call myself the Variety Fam.
I should call them the Blitzies or something. I haven't thought about that. The Pinkies.
What's the first half? Like right now, we'll go by scores. Like what would you say? We're at the end of the first half, going into the second half. What's the score?
That's a good question. I think Eagles are a second half team, although they give me a heart attack every single game. So I think Kansas City will be ahead at the first half. I'm looking at, I think the scores will be in the 20s at that point. Maybe 20, 23, 26 maybe, or maybe a little lower. Maybe a little lower than that. I think all in all, I think it'll be like a 31-28 game. Eagles on top. It's going to be close. It's going to go right to the end, which makes for an exciting Super Bowl. Does not do well for my heart.
Those always freak me out because I'm like, I always pick the last few, except for this game that when I won the money. Every year I'd pick the one team, I'd wear the colors, and it would always fall down. The team.
Yeah.
I'm like, stop picking the winner and trying to pick the winner, Joe. Just close your eyes, throw a dart. Yeah. So, okay. So what do you think about the Super Bowl performance this year?
I think it's going to, who was even at halftime?
I don't even know this year. Oh no.
No, I don't even know.
I don't
even know. Who's it? It's Kendrick Lamar?
I think it's Kendrick Lamar this year.
Kendrick Lamar, yeah. I don't listen to it. Like I was at the Super Bowl. It was Justin Timberlake, and I was like, yeah. I was hoping NSYNC was coming back. I liked Rihanna's performance. Yeah, I don't tend to listen to Kendrick Lamar, so I haven't even. I'm sure I'll be at the press conference. The NFL always does a press conference with the halftime show during the week, but yeah, I don't know. I'm so into football that I don't even. The halftime show doesn't even matter to me.
So what is your go-to food for the Super Bowl? Like, what is the thing you make, or what is the things you bring to the party? Like, what is your snack that you bring to the game?
Question. I love, I do actually, I'm going to credit my Aunt Diane, buffalo chicken dip.
Ooh.
She's the master of it. I've kind of followed in her footsteps. I'm also a big Jell-O shot girl. So I always bring the Jello shots. There
We'd
has
be
been
hanging out
several.
then, Blitz. We'd be hanging
I
out.
love Jello shots. They're just fun and they're colorful and they're strong. And so there's been so many times where my entire fridge, I've had to take out every single thing in my fridge so I could put just Jello shots. Like,
Oh God.
like I don't have pictures, but like I do have pictures somewhere. But yeah, no, my entire fridge was like green Jello shots. Normally I even dye my, like when the Eagles won their first Super Bowl that week, I dyed my dog's mohawk
Oh my gosh.
green. I didn't have time to do that this year though. But yeah, so I really get into Super Bowl week.
All right. So now we're after the game, after the performance, we're getting to the second half. Where do you think this? I know you're pushing for the Eagles, but where does this game go for you? Like, do you think this could be like one of the best Super Bowls of all time?
I mean,
Like,
I do because I mean Kansas City, it's gonna be a three-peat. The Eagles are going for number 2, like I said earlier. And Eagles have broken the record of most wins in franchise history. This is the best Eagles team I think we've ever seen. And Kansas City's going for a three-peat. So yeah, I do think it is going to be one of the best Super Bowls, if not the best that anyone has ever seen. It's going to be, I think Saquon Barkley is going to be the key to this game.
So you're saying, do you think he's going to be the MVP?
I think he should be the MVP in the entire league, personally, but it usually does go to a quarterback. So I think it'll probably be Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen. Yeah. But it would be great if it was Saquon Barkley, with the entire league. But I do think I think Saquon Barkley will get MVP of the game.
I personally think it's probably going to think it's either going to be Patrick somehow, some way. He's going to be the MVP of the game because he's got them legs. Even though I hear a lot of mean things, Kermit the Frog can run. Hello, Kermit the Frog.
Very nice guy. Yeah, and he's very nice. He does a ton for charities and
love him.
He's a great businessman, great football player, great person.
My mom loves him. She's obsessed with him. She calls herself a homie.
Oh, that's cute.
Making her half Puerto Rican, so she'll always make for the Super Bowl. She'll make Ben Neal, like a pork.
I love it.
Oh,
yeah. I mean, if Kansas City wins, I do think it'll be Patrick Mahomes is going to be the MVP. Absolutely.
Yeah. So now at the closing of this fun Super Bowl prediction show, let's do the big Super Bowl prediction. You go first. Who do you got?
I think it's going to be, 31-28 Eagles. I'm going to go winning by a field goal just to make it exciting. But that's my prediction. I think it's going to be a combination of a pass game as well as a run game. And special teams as well. So I think we're going to see a lot of action. We're going to see a lot of passing. We're going to see a lot of running and rushing. And I think it's going to be a great game.
As being a Jet fan, but I want to go for the Eagles so hard. I do. But I feel bad because I want to see a three-peat, but this is where I go rogue on you, Blitz. I want to see the Chiefs win by an odd way. Okay. I want to see they're on the 30-yard line. This is seconds left. Mahomes having trouble getting to the end zone. He just lets one of these long Mahomes throws.
Yep.
And he gets it. He gets it down.
That very well could happen. I mean, I was at the Eagles Patriots Super Bowl 7-8 years ago in 2018 and watched Tom Brady do a Hail Mary and to Gronk and Gronk didn't catch it, no one caught it, and it went to the ground. So I mean, if any of the Patriots would have caught that game, they would have won the game. So yeah, it happens. And we saw what happened with the Commanders game with Jaden Daniels doing that Hail Mary pass in the last second of the game, and then the Commanders came back and won that. So yeah, anything is possible in football. That's why I love it. And you're always holding your breath and hoping for the best, I guess.
before we go, Blonde Blitz, if any of my fans that have never ever like followed you, because a lot of my people on this channel, we watch other nerd culture or we do
Which,
pro
by
wrestling
the way,
stuff.
I am in combat sports too. I work with
Okay.
BYB. I work with BYB Extreme Bare Knuckle Fighting as well. So I do some work with them. So I'm also in the ringside space too.
Yeah, well, I'm in the independent wrestling scope, and so
Got it.
WWE, but more independent wrestling. That's what I talk to. But if my fans want to follow you on social media, where can they find you?
Sure. So my IG for my podcast, The Blonde Blitz, is at The Blonde Blitz. My personal, IG channel is for myself is at Sport Report Deb. And yeah, you can find me on Twitter as well. I think my Twitter is at Blonde Blitz Pod. So, and also Deb Wickus on Facebook, or Deborah Wickus on Facebook.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Before we go, I want to thank you again, fans, for watching this. Definitely give Blonde Blitz a follow. Definitely give the video a like. Subscribe to the Joe Panther Variety Show on YouTube. Really helps me a lot. Definitely give Blonde Blitz a huge subscribe. Give her a follow. She's part of my podcast family now forever.
Yes.
I am Joe Panther III.
And I'm Deb Wickus. Oh wait, you can also find us on that sports podcast network as well. And guys, I'm gonna have a ton of content on my IGs, on my website, and I'm in NOLA, and we'll be coming to reporting on absolutely everything going on, like with the week leading up to. So it'll be fun.
Awesome. I'm Joe Panther III.
I'm Deb Wickus.
And we will catch you in the next one.
See you later, guys.
Bye.